Hey, Frank, can you hear me okay? Where were you the other night, too? I wanted to see your dress in that, at the party, but I heard you're 6 hours ahead of me, so you were probably already, knocked back a few and passed out, huh? Hey, Arctic. Yeah, I had a really great day today, guys. My daughter, my baby girl got married today. It was so beautiful. I loved it. They did a really, they did a really simple wedding. Nothing big and fancy. They all wore these white and gold t-shirts that they had made. Um, on the back, it just said Mr. and Mrs., her new last name, established 3/1/2022. And then, like, her, on the front of the shirt, it had their names. So, her new husband, and all three of the kids had their own shirts. And it was me and just like the close family, his granddad, his mom, his sister, and like a couple of his uncles. So yeah, that was really my day just started out great. We had a lot of fun. We went out to eat, and as a matter of fact, I just made it back in the house. They're gone out to his family's place so they can ride four wheelers and all that good stuff. They're so cute together. Oh my god. I'm waiting on them to send me all the videos so I can put it together and put together their little like wedding video for them. So yeah, it was a great day today. I was very happy. Hey Arctic, do you feel like coming on panel so you can share your screen for me? Because I'm going live from the iPad today and I can't share my screen from here. I'll drop the link just in case you want to. Oh, don't worry, Arctic. We're getting old together. Cool. So if you want to go ahead and come on and pull up that WJHL little clip with Ronnie Lawson, because I need the whole world to hear this straight from the horse's mouth. So while you're doing that, I need to go ahead and, because for some reason, I did not mod my other self on my own channel, and that just kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let me put a little something in the chat so that I can mod myself. Oh, I did mod myself. Cool. My Twitter? Okay, I sure can. Let me let me pull that up. I haven't been on Twitter very much lately, though. Actually, this last week or so, I really haven't been on anything much because everything's kind of just like at a stalemate. Like, there's really hasn't been a whole lot going on. The cases are kind of just dry. Like, nothing's really going on with Cody's case. We're finally getting maybe possibly a break in Summer's case. Nothing's moving on Ariel's case. Harmony's case is at a standstill. And there's my Twitter link. I think I followed you on Twitter too, Frank. Yeah, it was yesterday that I think I followed you too. I think I saw where like Sleuth Mom had mentioned you in something that she posted. So I was like, oh, there's Frank. Let me follow him. The Twitterverse. I'm actually really anxious to see what is going on in Summer's case. Like, I'm so ready for there to be some kind of movement on this case, for just something to happen. Like, it's just been so long, so ridiculously long. And I mean, just like for no reason. And I kind of feel like they've uh, had some kind of information for a while now, but maybe they were just waiting for the final pieces. And then, like, the way that they've been going basically to that same area these last few searches, but the way they've been going back to that same general area these last few searches that they say were planned searches makes me think that they have some type of specific information. And I don't know if that's going to be based on like the footprints, because thank you, Frank. Look at you on the job already. But I don't know if that's going to be based on like the footprints, because when it comes to the footprints, I've heard a lot of people talking about the footprints, right? But I haven't actually seen the footprints mentioned by anybody official. Like, I haven't seen where Churchill Rescue Squad talked about it. I haven't seen where EquiSearch talked about it. I've heard that Dave Rader talked about it, but I've never actually been able to see a video or read an article where he's directly quoted as mentioning the footprints or whatever. Um. Oh, okay, Arctic. I see you're in there now. My bad. All right, you're up there. So I'm gonna be quiet for a minute so that you can go ahead and share that video from Ronnie Lawson.
It's trying to load.
Oh, no hurry. It's a laid back day, so
Yeah,
whenever it
I found it
loads, it'll
interesting.
load.
They keep searching. Yeah, I found it interesting that they keep searching within blocks of their house. To me, that indicates that they think the parents are sketchy as much as I do.
Yeah. Now, in all honesty, what I personally believe, and at first I went kind of back and forth. I couldn't decide if it was just Candace or Candace and Don, Candace and Grandis. I kind of went back and forth, but when it boiled down to it and I got to looking at it, I was like, it can't be Don. It has to be Candace or Candace and Grandis. Simply because the only way you could actually put Don at the house to be involved, you would have to ignore the fact that he was at work that day. People saw that he was at work today. The people that he works with has no reason to lie for him. And what they said was that he was only gone from the job site for about 30 minutes. So that's just like an average lunch break. That sounds like he left the job site, went to some fast food place, got something to eat, and came back. That's definitely not enough time for him to have come from Jonesboro all the way back to Rogersville, do whatever was done with Summer, and then go all the way back to Jonesville in 30 minutes, because that's just about a 30-minute ride or a little more just in one direction. So I don't even see how that was possible. So in my eyes, it has to boil down to the two people or one of the two people who were actually known to be with Summer that day.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I do think he knows what happened, though.
Yeah, now I do think he found out later. I
Oh my,
think that's what is caused like the rift that kind of seemed to come up between him and Candace. I don't
No,
think
they're
he
not
knew at
cooperating on
first, but
that.
I think he maybe put stuff
They have a
together
turn.
listening to her talk. Oh, okay, it's playing now. Let me hush.
it's trying. Hold on, let me put it back to the beginning.
The family's still cooperating. I know you said obviously moved on there, but like all those other, why are they still cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now. They have attorneys.
Well, is there anything else on that front you want to say or speak about?
Not right now.
So he really didn't say a whole lot, but at the same time, he said a lot.
Yeah, which I like I said, I've said all along that I felt that at least Candace was involved, if not both of them. I know that Don couldn't have physically been involved, but I do think in the back of my mind that he was involved in the plan for this. I may be wrong, but because I wonder if, because Don has a history of SA as much as he does, if he had done that to Summer and he knew CPS was coming out there, he knew there was a possibility Summer would say something, and she had to disappear. But the more I've watched Candace lately, that theory's kind of falling apart because she's been throwing Dawn under the bus any chance she can get, it seems like. So
Yeah. Now, see, the thing about the everybody
Right
saying
now,
they feel
who
like
you
Don.
trust matters more than ever.
The thing about them saying that they feel like Don S.A. Summer. Here is here's my problem with that. Okay, due to my own personal experiences in life, I have done like a lot of studying on SA and child SA for my own reasons, things that I wanted to understand, things that I wanted to come to terms with. And what I found is that even predators who tend to SA certain children, like okay, it said that Don SA a 5 year old. Even people who tend to SA certain children, a lot of times those people absolutely will not touch their own child under any circumstance. It's like they hold their own child is like completely off limits. And then also a lot of them have a thing about not touching. Some of them will like mess with other people's kids, but not kids in the family. And so the person that they're saying he SA'd when she was 5, even though they were related by marriage, they weren't related by blood. And some people take that into serious consideration as far as like when they're looking at how they're related. Some people, like me personally, if I'm related to you by marriage, to me that's the same as if we're blood kin. But I know people who don't consider it
well,
that
yeah,
way, you know.
yeah,
What were you gonna say?
I agree. I'm the same way. I think that there aren't. I don't believe in steps. If you marry someone, those kids are your kids. So I mean,
Frank says, nah, Don
mm,
says what I say about my daughter, and when he says, oh Summer, I feel his pain. See, that's the whole thing. Everybody gets on Don, and like they're like he's this monster or whatever. But the whole time when I've seen Don from that very first interview on when he talks about Summer, to me the feeling I get is a father who really loves his daughter, like a pure father daughter love, and that he's really hurt and broken about his daughter being missing. Candace, I don't. Like I said, I go back and forth on her. I'm right now. I'm almost solidly in the camp of she's guilty, but I go back and forth on her because sometimes her actions and reactions seem like she's really torn up about her daughter being missing and like she's possibly innocent. Or like, take for instance when her and Don did that interview together outside their house, that first interview they did together, and Don said something like statistically she's probably already dead, and Candace looked at him like, I know you didn't just say that. The expression on her face was like pure, I can't, that thought never crossed my mind. You know what I'm saying? But then again, other things that she says and does is almost like she has no feeling, she has no concern, she doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? So I go back and forth on her. But Don, I've never felt like he had any type of like foul contact with Summer, and I've never felt like he knew what happened to her from the beginning.
I don't know. I just what really got me is how he always every single interview I've seen, and I know people do it that aren't guilty, but he's always meant referred to her in the past tense, and that always got to me too because in a lot of cases, and behavioral experts will tell you that if a person refers to someone in the past tense, it's an indicator that they know they're gone already.
Now, true, that is true in some cases. I did a video a few months back. I don't remember which one it was, but I will try to pull up the information and represent it. But all the thing about past tense is this. Sometimes when people speak of someone in the past tense, and I want to kind of try to simplify this, but to say it correctly at the same time, it's not because they know that a person is gone, but it's because that person is like not physically there. Like, okay, take for instance, I have an ex-boyfriend, right? So my ex-boyfriend might still be alive, but he's not presently in my life because we're split up. So when I'm talking about him, I'm talking in the past tense because we used to do those things, but we're not doing those things right now because he's not presently in my life. So it's not so much that like I have some knowledge that he's dead. It's just that whatever it was has come to an end. It's not an ongoing thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I see that too. I mean, I'm not saying 100% that I think Dawn did it, but I definitely think Candace has knowledge of what's going on. And I think that Dawn probably learned of it if he did, at any rate. I'm not sure on Dawn. But Candace is just sketchy all the way around. Um, and now she's got all these GoFundmes and stuff set up. Got her own YouTube channel. She's just living on her best life. It seems like she moved into this nice fancy hotel, doing YouTube lives and everything. Just not a care in the world, it seems. So
Yeah, Candace is something else. And I think that Candace does a lot of subliminal stuff too, like how she did that video and she had that kid in the background. And I know she knew that everybody could see that kid in the background because you can see on your screen what people are seeing when they look at your video. And then she tried to act all surprised toward the end and shift the camera so that you couldn't see the kid anymore.
yeah, and there's been so much speculation. People trying to say that that kid is Summer and this and that and the other, and I'm like, number one, you can barely see whether you can't even tell if it's a boy or a girl in the dang picture. You- So I mean, I don't see how people are speculating that it's Summer. And surely, if it was Summer, she wouldn't be stupid enough to be living this gravy train life that she's living right now and then broadcast live with Summer in the background.
I have seen so many ridiculous speculations about Summer since Candace started her channel. And as a matter of fact, I think it's on one of her videos. Somebody was commenting and you could tell they were obviously a basket case, but they were like, Summer isn't a child, she's a grown woman, and they were like gave all these reasons why Summer isn't a child, she's actually a grown woman, and she's not missing, and something about Summer is actually Rose Bly, and I mean it's just crazy. People are just coming out of the woodworks with ridiculous stuff just to hear themselves talking. Like I don't even
The most
understand.
ridiculous thing was yesterday. I forget what creator it was, but he was on there live streaming one of Candace's interviews or something, and Candace was talking about how she had talked to Dawn, and Dawn said, and she told Dawn, "Well, you fucked that girl," blah blah blah. And he was trying to make it out that Candace
Yeah,
was referring to Dawn had fucked Summer, and it was obvious that's not what he was talking about. And I
I
was just like,
saw that.
okay, yeah. I was like, talk about clickbait, talk about reaching. That was reaching there.
Which is a whole, and see that's what I mean, like, and that's exactly what TBI is talking about when they're saying that social media and the crap that's coming off social media is really hurting the case, because somebody went and called in a tip and said, hey, Candace said that Dawn did this, that, and the other thing to Summer, and it's on video. Yeah, Frank, they actually said that. I can't remember the guy's channel. He's a relatively new on the scene creator. God, what is his name? I watched a couple of his videos. But you'll probably see it in your feed. If you Google Summer Wells, you'll see it, and like the captioning on his video is like a bright neon green. And it actually says, "You F that girl in my house." It actually said in bright neon green letters. He makes some of the most ridiculous videos. And he presents it as if he's like this well-educated, almost as if he's like a profiler or something. Oh, hold on, I gotta do something here.
Yeah, and everyone in the chat was sitting there accusing him of clickbaiting, and he was just ignoring everyone saying, hey, you need to stop with the clickbait shit. So
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. But then again, everybody got to make their little money. Summer's everybody's cash cow right now.
exactly. They're not concerned about her. They're concerned about how much money they can make.
Which is sad, man.
Same thing as Gabby Petito. That was what it is. It is. No one cared about Gabby. All these creators that supposedly cared about her so much, they were sitting there just making hand over fist in cash, using her name to make a name for themselves and seeing how many clicks and how much cash they could get off of it.
Mm-hmm.
It is what I mean. There are good, true creators out there, but they're few and far between compared to some of these others.
Okay, y'all got to forgive me. I'm messing with this tablet. I'm
Oh.
trying to figure out how to. My battery is going dead on it, and I'm trying to figure out how to put this thing in low power mode so that it can charge while I'm actually using it. I don't know really a whole lot about iPads because I usually use Android stuff. I'd hate for this thing to cut off, but if it does
I don't
happen
know.
to,
My husband's
like,
the iPad expert.
if the battery dies while we're chatting, then I'll hop on the computer and come back. Yeah, I don't know how to
Yeah,
do
my
this.
husband's the iPad expert, and he's at work right now. So
Yeah, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just gonna hope it doesn't die. There we go. Here we go. Here we go.
you should be able to just plug a charger into it and still stream from it, I would think.
I got it. There's probably like a million things running in the background on this thing. Cause mostly my little sidekick, the 2-year-old, uses this, and she like plays music constantly and all her games and all her different stuff going. So yeah. What's not 100% true, Frank? I found it. I got it put in low power mode. So hopefully it'll continue to charge. I'll know in a minute it's at 10%. If we get to 11, I know I did it right. But yeah, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. I just wanted to come on real quick and talk about that because that just when I saw that today that he said that, it just I was just like, wow, I just really wasn't expecting that because I've really been trying to give the Wells the benefit of the doubt. I've really been trying to see them in a positive light, even though they got all this other scandalous stuff going on and, the crazy lives and all the drama or whatever. I still tried to see them like in a positive light. At times, I've even tried to tell myself, maybe they're just pulling all these antics because they just want to keep Summer's name out there, because really, when you think about it, there's nothing that's so totally special about Summer that would keep her name out there above any other child. She's one little girl who went missing from a rural town in the middle of nowhere that most people probably never would have heard of if it wasn't for her going missing, you know? And so at times I tried to tell myself, well, they're just doing this so that people will keep talking about Summer. They're putting on these shows because even like that one live where they said Dom was, sitting on the toilet getting high. I don't even think that's actually what he was doing. He might have tried to make it look like that, but you never actually saw him doing that what they were accusing him of doing at the time. So to me, it kind of came across like he was just going through the motions just to give people something to talk about.
Yeah.
So I keep trying to see them in a positive light because I'm just that type of person. You're at work hanging out with me, Frank. I feel so special. I really do. I hate that you missed the live. What I'm gonna do, Frank, I am going to put that live. I made it private, but I'm gonna put it as unlisted, and I will let you get the link for it so that you can watch it. We had a little fun. We talked about some crazy stuff too. So I really wanted you to be there, so I'll let you watch it, and then I'll probably take it down and just do like a highlight reel out of it for my birthday. He's at work hanging out with me. I feel amazing. But I was saying something. I forgot what I was saying. I'm such a blonde. Oh, I was talking about Dawn and Candace. Yeah, I kind of feel like sometimes they just do stuff just to keep Summer's name out there. Because when you think about it, Summer's case is so similar to every other case out there that there's really nothing to make it stand out if it wasn't for them acting a fool on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. If my kid disappeared and I really didn't know what happened, if I felt like the only way for me to keep my kid's name out there and keep people talking about my kid and looking for my kid, I would be all over the internet acting a donkey too. Because as long as they're talking about me with my dumb behind, they're talking about my missing kid. I don't know. I try to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm one of those people who I can't really, even though I know it happens, even though I know there are kids out there that their parents or adoptive parents or foster parents really don't care about them, really just dog them out, couldn't care less about them. I'm the type of person who hates to believe that a child can come into this world and the very people who created this life, brought this life into the world, don't care about that life. It kills me to think that way about anybody. You know, it's one
Yeah.
thing when it's
Yeah.
a stranger. It's one thing when it's the pervert down the street or the dude that should be in a mental hospital somewhere or the babysitter who never should have been allowed around anybody's kid, but it's so completely different when it's the parent, when it's the person
I
who's
know.
supposed to love you, who's supposed to take care of you and scrape your knees and teach you how to, ride a bike and,
I know, but unfortunately, we do see it in a lot of cases where it is the parent. I mean,
too much,
it's
too often.
yeah, yeah. It's just like Oakley
Pitbull
Carlson.
Mama,
Hey,
welcome to. I'm sorry, Arctic. I'm just welcoming our new person. I've never seen Pitbull Mama in here. Welcome to the chat. And she says, I just want to say that Don Wells, when he got his DUI tested, his blood, and he had nothing but alcohol in it the day before he went to jail. All there was alcohol. So true. So true.
yeah, yeah. There's that. I mean,
I'm sorry for cutting you off, Arctic. Go
oh
ahead
no,
and
no,
finish.
it's fine. I found that video that we were talking about earlier, and it was True Crime Exposed that did that video, making it out that uh, Candace confessed that Dawn essayed Summer.
Okay, this is the video here. Or do you
No,
want to
not
go ahead
on
and
my
pull it up?
screen. Hold on a second.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, third one down. Candace confession. Summer Wells' mom, Candace, confesses that Dawn uh, did that. So blah blah. Anyway, I can play the video if you want, but it's like 46 minutes long.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. The one that I'm thinking of, it's from that guy, and it's got green. It's got like neon green writing that says, "You f that girl in my house." It's got like F in quotation marks.
Okay.
And that's the one where he was talking about it and trying to make it seem like that, and people were in his live chat telling him, "No, that's not, what that is."
Yeah, well, that's the same deal happened in this particular video too. Everyone was like, "Oh
Really?
no, no, no."
So this is just the new thing that they're doing now. We're gonna just make it seem like that's what they're doing. Oh, let me mute this. Sorry about the noise. I was sitting out on the patio catching some sun. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll shoot you the link. Because I think it's in my history. I don't know how far back, because I've been watching all kind of stuff.
Hey, Pitbull Mama, welcome to the chat.
Here it is right here. I'm going to shoot it to you on Messenger.
All right.
I'm surprised I found it that fast. I didn't realize.
Yeah, part of the reason mine's running so slow is I've got like 30 different browser tabs open on both Google and on Edge right now because I've been working on different videos today. So,
Yeah. Okay, I just sent it to you.
all right, let's see here.
But it's just so crazy how people try to like twist stuff for no reason. Don speaks the same I do of Molly. And when he says, "Oh, Summer, I feel it." I think Don really loves his daughter. Like, purely loves his daughter. That's just my opinion. I know everybody wants to think the worst or whatever, but and even when it comes to even when it comes to what he's accused of from before, okay, I followed Summer's case really strong. I followed CM and what he was doing until I saw that he just really had his own agenda that he was trying to push. And I saw where that agenda turned away from finding Summer to just purely, in my opinion, persecuting Don. It was like a personal vendetta for some reason. And the one thing that I do believe something happened with Don and his 5-year-old stepsister. But I don't believe that it's what CM tried to make it be. I also heard another creator say, "Why don't somebody ask the Wells how come they don't have any other kids?" So someone point out, well, if they've had these kids about 13, so they're doing something. I guess it cut off what the rest of what you were saying.
Well, here's my deal. Regardless of whether they had anything to do with Summer or not, regardless of that, they don't have any business having kids or being around children. They've had both of them have had kids from previous relationships taken. They just had the boys taken away. When they had Summer, they couldn't take care of her. That's why her teeth were rotting out. Likely because had her head shaved because of lice. The house was disgusting. So I do feel if they're innocent, yes, I feel sorry for them. Obviously, because Summer got taken or got gone, as Don would say. But I don't feel that they should have custody or even be allowed to be around children at this point.
They're definitely not parents of the year. They're definitely not parents of the year. That's for sure. But I still don't think that it's what everybody says. Now, when the case first hit the YouTube as big as it did, and people kind of started to turn on Don and Candace, I went and I looked at, and I wish to God I had thought to screenshot and like save pictures or whatever, but I didn't. This is when Candace still had her original main profile at the time was public. And I went back as far as I could on her page, and I just looked at pictures and videos that she had posted. And while her house wasn't clean to most people's standards, like I would lose my mind living there, but the house wasn't clean to most people's standards. But the pictures that I saw, these children were constantly well dressed. The times that you saw them dirty, they were outside playing in the yard. Um, I saw pictures of them having good, decent meals. I mean, meals that I would go cook for my family. Sausage, eggs, and grits in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Plates piled high with food at dinner. They were constantly doing things. She was always taking them somewhere, some activity, some amusement park, some place to swim, something. So I don't think that these kids were as dogged out as people say they were. And I mean, they're not the best parents. I'll give them that. Candace obviously has some type of something going on. She has some type of mental deficiency or some type of developmental delay or something. But as far as people saying that these kids were just dogged out and abused or whatever, I just don't believe that. They may have been neglected in some areas, but I just don't believe that. And even with Summer's teeth, personal experience. One of my grandsons, his teeth he started with a small cavity. It got so bad in the process of waiting for him to be able to get into the dentist because the dentist was so backed up, but that by the time he actually got to get into the dentist, and I know his mama was on it to get him seen. By the time he got to the dentist, it had gone from a small cavity to he had to have 5 teeth removed. And that was because he couldn't get into the dentist because the dentist was backed up. So you can look on the one hand and say neglect, medical neglect, they're not taking care of the kids, but you also have to understand that sometimes things aren't always what they seem. It's easy to jump on the bandwagon of, you know, peer pressure or crowd mentality or whatever it is
Oh, and
for
I get that. I mean, and I've looked at it and I've tried to be fair. And you notice I don't do a lot of summer videos on my
yeah,
page.
yeah,
And
I
that's
noticed.
because I know I'm biased to an extent. Um so I just don't cover that, and she's getting so much attention where these other kids aren't getting any. I feel
Yeah,
it's more
that's true.
important to focus on them. But if I was just jumping on the whole bandwagon and stuff like that, I'd do that in other cases where, I've seen how people have beat up all over Brandy and Michael's case. And I'm just like, dude, this is a mother that loves her son. How the hell are you going to accuse her? You know, so I hate it when, or Crystal, everyone's beating up on Crystal. Well, it's not Crystal's fault what happened to Harmony. Do you see Child Protective Services really screwed the hooch in that case. They made one attempt to contact Crystal, and that was it. And she was over getting the help that she needed at the time, which is why she didn't respond to it.
Yeah.
So,
And see, I kind of I tend to stay away from Summer too, unless it's something really big. And I felt like Ronnie Lawson saying that the parents aren't cooperating and they're lawyered up. I thought that merited a video.
Oh
That
yeah,
kind of shit was
absolutely. I
just fun
agree.
too. Um, which is sad because, in all honesty, if it wasn't for Summer Wells, I never would have even made a YouTube channel, or at least not the YouTube channel that I have now. I mean, I honestly wouldn't have. It's just, I don't know, something about Summer just really, it really touched me. And so
Yeah.
that's why I even started a YouTube channel. Um, and so I hate to not talk about her and her case, but then at the same time, you kind of don't want to get in it because all the other stuff that's going on around her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. And I get it. A lot of creators did start their channels to cover Summer, and a lot of them also started to cover Gabby Petito. But the thing is you have creators like Molly Golightly, like Blowhard Betty, that turned it into a complete circus. And then other creators started jumping into that circus. And now it's hard to find creators like yourself, like Sleuth Mom, like Lip Lock No More, that actually are trying to do justice for Summer.
Yeah. Yeah. For everybody, most of these creators, it's just a cash grab.
Yeah.
I mean, even their titles scream cash grab because they make these titles that make it seem like you're gonna really get some inside information when you click on their video, and then it's like blah, nothing.
That was my message for
It
going off,
might be
Frank.
you, Frank. So what happened with Crystal the other day? Catch me up, Frank. I've kind of been out of the loop on stuff. I just been kind of on relax mode. Oh, I don't want to talk about that at all. Oh my God, I don't want to talk about that. I will just be glad when all that dies down. My God, have mercy. I could say a whole bunch of things about that whole fiasco, but I just won't. I refuse. All I can say about that is Jesus. Put some Jesus on it. I agree. I agree about them not being parents of the year, but I know in the hollers and the hills, the way people live, my dad was from Arkansas and he lived like that growing up. I know that was a long time ago. Exactly. And that's another thing that people fail to take into consideration, and not just in Summer's case, but just in general. A lot of times, no matter what the situation is, we have our norm that we get used to. The way we do things, the way we've seen things done our entire life, you know, and we think that that's just how everybody does it. We just take it for granted that everybody does it that way. And so it's hard to accept when that isn't how someone does it. It's hard to accept that there's another way that something could be done. I asked people to give her a break and I got attacked, defended myself, and Facebook was removed. Wow. What I think needs to happen in that case is, in that situation, is the best thing Joe can do is just to not talk about anything to do with fundraising anymore, period, under any circumstances, and just continue to present missing cases because she does a very good job of presenting the cases, putting the facts together. And if she does that, then I think that she'll be all right. And
Well,
just be truthful.
my whole deal on the whole Joe Gate was that I didn't realize that she was still scamming people, because apparently several people came forward after she posted that video and said, no, it's not just in her past. She's still doing this. She tried to scam me.
And see, I didn't either. And I will admit that on one of my videos, I mentioned, because she was apparently collecting money to send stuff to like the people that were looking for Cody, to send like snacks and food and water and stuff. And so I mentioned that she was collecting funds for that. And I had no clue about all this other stuff at the time. I did not know anything about it. And I don't promote any type of GoFundMe or fundraisers or anything like that, because I just don't. I would rather not even. There's just too much of a risk of people scamming in general, not even a specific person. So I usually don't even mention anything like that. But
Oh
this
yeah,
time I did because I felt like that we were starting to develop, like, I want to call it like a sub community in the true crime community of people who just purely want to help and to advocate for victims, especially for these children. And so I
exactly.
felt like we were developing such a tight knit sub community that I felt comfortable saying, hey, she's trying to do this to help these people. And so I mentioned it. And
Well,
so I
see,
kind of feel bad about that.
and I had absolutely no idea about all that in her past until she posted that video up. I didn't know any of that.
And to be totally honest, I don't even care. Even with a past like that, I could still feel comfortable supporting someone with a past like that if they were being completely above board, because
Exactly.
people can change. But when it comes to the changing stories and the this and that and all the foolishness, that's where it gets to the point where you're like, okay, so you're still up to the old tricks
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's presented that way. But I don't want to talk about that anymore. I didn't even talk about that at all. I swear to God, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be in it. I don't want my channel in it. I don't want nothing to do with it.
yeah. I saw the live when it was all going down, and I didn't even go in it. I was like, nope, my name's Bennett, and I ain't in it.
I know I don't want no parts of it. Dear God, is so much I want to say, but I just ain't going to. I'm gonna leave it at whatever I just said. But anyway, back to summer. I know that's right, Frank.
Yep. And I
Back
agree
to
with
summer.
you. Sugar plus hot water plus Adam's lap equals justice. I agree 100%, Frank.
So yeah, but I can't wait to see where this goes with summer, especially with them doing. I think the timing of Ronnie Lawson's statement is interesting. Since they did this, they've been searching these last 2 days, relatively close to the Wells house. I looked at it on the map, and it's about 7 minutes drive if you take the roads. But as the crow flies, it's not very far at all. It's really
Mm-mm.
not.
No.
And oh my goodness. And then apparently Candace is all upset because she didn't know that they were going to be searching. Apparently nobody let her know that there was a plan to search in the area. So she's all upset about that, is what I've heard. I haven't heard her actually say that like on her channel or whatever, but I haven't been over there today or yesterday, I don't think. So I think the timing of Ronnie Lawson's statement so soon after they're doing this search, and actually as this search is still in progress, to say that they're not cooperating and they're lawyered up, yeah, the pressure is definitely on. I if you want to know my honest opinion, I think if they take Candace in, I think that right now, if Candace is actually guilty or has some guilty knowledge, this would be the prime opportunity to take her in there and start questioning her, like hard questioning her. Because if she has some guilty knowledge, she's gonna break. It's not like the Dr. Phil show or the behavior panel where she can just jump up and walk out. You can't just jump up and walk out of the police station. So I think if they took her in there, told her she was detained for questioning, and started laying it on her, I think that if she had guilty knowledge, she'll break and she'll start talking. Because Don's not there to be her support or her mouthpiece. Honestly, I think she might even end up breaking on her YouTube if it goes the right way. If she actually has guilty knowledge, I think that she's gonna be on that live one night, drunk and high, and she's gonna break. She's gonna let something
Yeah,
slip that she can't take back.
I think that's a real possibility.
I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I just really have a feeling that Summer's case is gonna come to a resolution here in the next, I want to say, 4 to 8 weeks.
The thing that still sticks out in my mind, and I don't even know how it's related to this case, if it's related at all, but when they were on Dr. Phil and Candace was being interviewed and the words cornbread mafia came up and she lost it. I'm wondering what that shit's all about.
I kind of am too, because I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe somewhere in her mind, cornbread mafia and Mexican mafia are some kind of tied up together. Because there was that whole Mexican mafia thing a few months ago,
Yeah.
and I still ain't figured out what that whole phone call was about. Like, they keep calling it a prank, but that's not a prank.
Yeah, and see
To be
that
on ArcticFox's true crime.
shit. Oh
That'll be
my
interesting. I gotta watch that one. Make sure you let me know when you get her on your channel.
shit. I don't even want her on my channel. I would like to get Brandy Neal on my channel and get some good promotion out there for Monkey's Case. But
I don't want anybody involved in any of these cases on my panel. I ain't lying. I don't even want to get that close to a case. I feel like, as a YouTuber, what I'm here for is to read news and talk about it. Throw some speculation out, some logical speculation, share a few ideas, talk about the foolishness that's going around and why it doesn't make sense. But when it comes to like talking to the people, I remember when Brian Laundrie's thing was going on. I don't know if the person was serious or not, but somebody was in my chat and they're like, "I've got his phone number. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Nope. I know him. I have his phone number. No, you keep it."
yeah, Brandy and I follow each other on Twitter and stuff, but I haven't been brave enough to ask her to come on my channel or anything. So I think she said me on my channel though.
You spoken to Hunter's dad, Frank?
Say what now?
Frank said he's spoken to Hunter's dad and he can get footage.
Mm.
Wow. And you know what, Pitbull Mama? I have always said since I started this channel, I don't think I'm ever going to monetize my channel. I never ask for money. I do put links in my about section, but I don't ask for money. If I ever do happen to be blessed with like cash apps or whatever, it's gonna be strictly, I'm only gonna spend it just like to buy a new computer or a tablet, like devices and stuff that I can do better work on this channel, because the laptop that I have right now, literally, I can't unplug it, because if I unplug it, it's gonna die. I have one working USB port. I mean, the power cord jiggles. It just kind of hangs there, like, what I'm saying. It's barely functional. So if I ever do get blessed with cash apps, that's all it's gonna go to, and I'll probably turn my cash app off. Like, I'm not in it to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's wrong for people to sit and collect hundreds and thousands of dollars off of kids who are being beaten and hurt and killed, and you know what I'm saying. It's just wrong. That should not be your way of making a living. I mean, I can see if you were like a real journalist on mainstream media, you went to college to be able to sit on TV and tell these stories, yeah, get paid for it. But for you to just be sitting on your couch talking trash, that's, you shouldn't be making thousands of dollars off of hurt kids. That's just
No.
wrong.
And see, I feel the same way. My channel is not ever going to be monetized. You're not going to see super stickers on there. You're not going to see cash apps on there. And that's not saying anything bad about creators that do have super chats and memberships and stuff like that, because a lot of these creators, they actually go out to the location and stuff, and that gets expensive. So
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all I was saying. I was just saying, yeah, that's true.
If you're really going all out and going to Ben Hill Road and stuff like that, I get it. I get why you would need to fund your page and stuff. Plus, some of the graphics and stuff that these people do with their channels and stuff too. I'm sure it takes quite the setup in order to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So, I get that. But then you've got the opposite end of the spectrum where people just go way too far, and you've got people like MGL and Bullhorn Betty and them that are just living their best life, basically trafficking these kids on their channel for profit. It's basically what it amounts to. They're exploiting these kids is what they're doing. They're not trying to help, they're just exploiting them.
And then some people, I can agree with them making money off it. Like there's one creator, I won't say his name, even though I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I did. But there's one creator that he was homeless, living in a van. And, he basically was able to get off the streets and into like an efficiency apartment by covering these cases. You know what I'm saying? And for some people, that's all they can do. He has some disability to where he couldn't just go out and get a job. And I don't see anything wrong with it in that case. Because,
No.
I mean, he was helping these kids and it was helping him at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
If you're
so I can't blame him for that because that's how he had to have some kind of hustle to get off the street. I don't expect nobody to just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a legit creator and you're running your channel legitimately and you're honestly about the kids and you're not turning this into some shit show circus, I got no qualms about you making a little bit of money to survive off of with your channel. I got no issues with that. But when all you're doing is making a circus out of these kids' lives, then yeah, I take a big issue with that.
Exactly. God, I remember when Cash Gurnan's case, and that was such a horrific case. When Cash Gurnan's case was going on, some of these creators, man, I swear to God, I wanted to jump through the screen and snatch a knot on them. Because I was like, are you serious? We're talking about a whole child who was snatched out of his bed and brutally murdered. And this is what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people, they have quit their jobs and everything to dedicate their lives solely to this. And I have a lot of respect for them if they're running their channels right. And this is what they've decided to take on as their sole career. And in that case, yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that there is monetization for them. I'm glad that there's super chats and stuff like that available for them, because dedicating 24/7 to a channel, I mean, shoot, I'm just starting off and I don't have a lot of subscribers or anything, but I'm realizing it takes a lot of work to put these videos together and stuff. So
it does. Pitbull, I'm lost. You said, I heard the reason why she cried was somebody called her right before filming and said they found a body, but it was a lie and not true. It may have been somebody else's body, but not some. Oh, you're talking about Candace. Now, I did hear them say something about finding something, but I listened to like the what do you call it? The radio, the scanner. I was listening to it. Another creator had it playing, and they didn't say anything about a body. They said a backpack. They said something about finding a backpack, and then they were like, they didn't know what was in it.
I saw something in my Twitter feed earlier that said something had been found, but it had been moved. That's all I saw. So,
and then there was that same creator that was trying to twist the thing about what Candace said about he effed that girl in my house. He also was trying to twist some of Dave Rader's words. Dave Rader, you remember a few months back when he was saying, when they were doing their search, when EquiSearch came and did a search, and they were saying to please not, like, if you see them searching, don't like post on social media where you see them searching. And he was explaining that the reason they don't want that information posted is because if, for instance, someone did have Summer's body or have Summer, and they hear that, okay, they've searched that area and they've cleared that area that they haven't found anything, then someone could come and move evidence to an area that's already been marked as cleared. Like
Yeah.
if they had her body or they had, whatever, a weapon or something, they could go put it over there because this area has already been searched. So that guy was trying to twist it to make it seem like Dave Rader had said that they had found a spot where a body had been, but had been moved. And that's not
Wow.
what Dave Rader had said.
Yeah, see, and I hate that shit. I hate people that are all about the clicks and the views and all that. That just drives me nuts. And Frank, yes, I absolutely agree. That's part of the reason why I joined Chris's um channel membership is because I value what he brings to the community, and I plan on eventually joining Sluice myself. She's one of the best creators out there in my book.
Yeah, Sleuth definitely deserves her monetization. She's taking care of all her babies and trying to help all these other babies at the same time. So every little bit helps. She deserves whatever she earns off her channel for sure. Because anybody that can take care of a household of their own kids and still find as much time as she finds to put into helping to get the word out about these missing kids deserves it.
Yeah, I agree 100% because I don't have any Rugrats running around, and I find it difficult to dedicate that much time to my channel. So,
Well, we've been on here yakking for an hour. I bet Frank ain't getting no work done. I understand that they're getting that duct tape out. LOL. I have to do that. My phone. Well, how she would allow. Yeah. Sleuth is a ball of energy.
oh,
I
I'm
was a
telling
ball
you.
of energy at that age. Not anymore. Not anymore. My energy is confined to watching the babies run around and let them have all the energy. Oh my God, they were on go today. Let me tell you. So we got to the restaurant and we're all sitting down eating, and the 2-year-old boy, she was on it. She was from one end of the table to the other one, boy. She was on everybody's lap, up in this booth, get out of that booth and go hang out in the other booth, climb up on the table. She was eating everybody's food but her own. She was having a ball. She had a party today. She gonna be so tired when she come home. Thank God. Yeah, she gonna sleep good tonight. And Gigi gonna sleep good with her. Well, I guess I'll get ready to close this out. I really hope we'll hear something here about summer in the next couple of days. Something worth hearing, some news, some closure, some something.
Yeah, I agree. I've been glued to my Twitter trying to see what the latest updates are. So,
You don't want to offend who with the donation? Sleuth Mom? You will not offend her. I guarantee you she's going to put that right to work for these kids. Um, yeah, I'm so ready for like Summer's case to, have some movement, because it just really doesn't make sense that she just disappeared into thin air and nobody knows anything. Nobody saw anything. Nobody heard anything. The red truck just never heard anything about it. Never was found. Just, it doesn't make sense. Night, Frank.
later, Frank. Have a good day. I'm sure I'll see you in another chat sometime later today.
Most likely. I just wanted to come hang out today because I had some free time. I don't really get a whole lot of free time in the daytime when I can go live. So here's me. But yeah, I'm gonna get off here. Let's just keep hoping for the best, hoping for some news from Summer. And let's keep hoping that Ronnie Lawson will tell us more than they're not being cooperative right now. They have lawyers. Oh, that's another thing. When did they get lawyers? Out of all the
Yeah.
talking they do on these live streams, I ain't never heard them say anything about having lawyers until today. They talk about everything else, but they didn't tell that.
Nope.
Well, if I can come back on tonight, I probably will. If not, then I'll probably be asleep. So it was good hanging out with y'all. Thanks for screen sharing for me, Arctic. But I
No
swear I
problem.
did not feel like fighting that laptop today.
Alrighty. Well, I will catch you later on tonight if you go live, and I'll see you in some of these other chats more than likely.
You probably will. All right.
All right. Later.
Hey, forgive me. We're just leaving. I'm so sorry. Please go back and just watch the replay. We were just talking about Summer and what Ron Lawson said today, because he was talking about how the parents aren't being cooperative and they have lawyers, and that's basically all he said. But we were just talking about how that's interesting, considering the timing, since they're doing those searches over there by Ben Hill again for the last 2 days. And we talked about a few issues with like Dawn and Candace and the possibilities. Talked about some stuff about Equisearch. So yeah, go back and check it out. And we'll see you the next time we're live. Make sure you check out ArcticFox too, and definitely check out Sleuth Mom's channel. Those are excellent channels. I'm sure you will enjoy them. And I will see you next time I'm live.